Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. It's me, Tamara Durbin with Money Basics. And here is another edition of Finance Fridays. I hope you guys have been enjoying these Finance Fridays and the information that's being shared in these chats. The last Finance Friday we did was a pop-up edition of Finance Fridays, and we had a special guest talking about real estate finance. So I hope if you haven't seen that one, go watch the replay. It is on my Facebook page, which is at Money is Basic. And actually for that one, we did an Instagram live. We actually did something a little bit different. But I did repost it on Facebook. So go watch that one if you haven't seen the replay of that one. I invite you to share this chat. If you are watching the replay, welcome. And if you are watching the replay, also share. I want as many people, as many new grads to hear this chat. It's going to be quick, but hopefully it will be very, 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 very informative and life-changing for all those new grads out there. So first thing I want to say is congratulations to all of you new grads, that whether you've graduated with your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, your doctorate, you've completed an awesome accomplishment in your life. So you are to be celebrated. I know this is graduation season. That's why I decided to do this edition of Finance Fridays to kind of lay a basic groundwork for you new grads, that now you have your degree and you have a job, preferably in your career of study, and now it's time to be an adult. Like, welcome to adulthood. Yay. Hey, you wanted to be here, now you're here. And I just want to just give you some basic things that for me, I think that will be very beneficial. And I believe that they would have been life-changing for me if I had known all of these things when I first graduated with my college degree. Hi, that's my dad. I want to jump right in. So the first thing I said is, now you have your college degree and now you have your job. Let's talk about creating a plan for your financial future. So the first thing I want to tell you is, you graduated from college, and for 4 years, you have lived like a frugal person. You've made it off of almost nothing, very little. And now you have a job and you're like, oh, great. Now I can go buy some things that I've never been able to buy. I'll be able to go to restaurants, go hang out with friends, no. The first thing I'm going to say is, continue to live like you are in college. Continue to be frugal, okay? A friend of mine always tells me it's easy to upgrade and it's hard to downgrade. So until you get your footing financially and start reaching some of your financial goals, continue to live like a college student. And the thing about it is, it will be easy for you because you've been doing it. And actually, typically in college, you still had fun. You still have fun on a little money. So continue to live like a college student. Use this time to really set yourself up to start to build traction in reaching your financial goals. Because when you live like a college student, you really keep your expenses tight. So that's the first thing. You'll thank me later for that. Continue to live like a college student for these first couple years. Live like a college student. The second thing that I want to encourage you to do, or the second thing I want you to do, is to sit down and figure out where you stand financially. So what does that mean? Do you have student loans? Okay. And within that realm of student loans, what is the best repayment plan for you? One of the things you may want to do is contact your student loan servicer, because they will be contacting you even if you don't contact them. They do give you, I believe it's a 6-month grace period from when you graduate to try to get your footing, get a job if you don't have one already. But explore what your repayment options are. There's several different student loan repayment options, whether they're income-based, graduated, or just a straight payment plan. But understand where you stand with your student loans and what you're looking at as it relates to a student loan repayment plan, okay? The second thing is, do you have credit card debt? I remember when I was in college, the first week that we entered the campus on the quad, there was a long table of credit card companies, and they would entice us to get credit cards, and they would give us free gifts. And the thing about it is, we didn't necessarily understand credit cards. We really wanted the free gifts. We didn't understand, oh, you get this credit card and you can spend this money and then you have to pay back this money. So we really wanted all the free gifts. Could be silly things like t-shirts, bags, pens. We didn't care. We wanted something free. So we got these credit cards. Then we started to understand, hey, I can go to the mall and buy an outfit for this party that I want to go to, and I don't have to give them cash. I can just give them a card, and I'll figure out how to pay it back later. So sometimes college students, we do get into credit card debt. And I will say, when I came out of college, I did have credit card debt. So that's the first thing. Examine, do you have credit card debt, okay? The next thing is, where are you going to live? Are you in a position where you can move back home with your parents? Or are you in a brand new city? And maybe for you, with your brand new city, you have to get your own apartment. So if you have to get your own apartment, let's look at that. What is that going to cost you? Even with your new job, your new career, what is that going to cost you? And I will encourage, even if there's some parents like on here listening for your college students, let's say your college student is moving back in with you. One of the things I would recommend, you may want to help them. If you sit down, you all talk about a plan of their financial goals. And let's say one of their plans is to move out or maybe buy a home or a condo several years from now. One of the things maybe you could do is help them by, if you tell them, okay, you can come back home and stay, but it'll cost you $200 a month, $300 a month. If you do that, think about putting that money to the side and saving it for them as a down payment when they decide to move out, okay? It's up to you. That's my home phone ringing. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't want that to be ringing. So, explore options to help your new adult get their footing financially. So if you're going to charge them something, even if you say, okay, no, I'm not going to save it, but I'm going to charge them something to just teach them the habit, the principle of having to pay for where you live. That's great too. But the whole thing is, have a conversation, even if you're moving back in with your parents, if there's going to be a cost per month to move back in with them, or if they will, and maybe even as parents, maybe you don't tell them that. Maybe if you charge them $200 or $300 a month, you don't tell them that you're actually saving that money for when they do decide they want to move out, and to help them with that. That's great too. But let's explore that. So as you're looking at and figuring out where you stand financially, you're going to explore your student loans, what's going on there, credit card debt, your living situation. And then I also want you to take a look at your credit, okay? What does your credit look like? You finished 4 years of college. If you do have any debt, student loan debt, also you wanna make sure that your identity is intact. You've been away for 4 years, been around a lot of people. You just wanna make sure that your identity and your credit is intact, okay? 2 resources I have for you are to check your credit, specifically your credit score, creditkarma.com, and that's creditkarma.com. Creditkarma.com allows you to really basically monitor your credit for free, but also check your credit score for free to see where you stand from a credit perspective. The other thing is actually look at your credit report to make sure everything on your credit report is something that you acquired, is a debt that you acquired, that there's no fraudulent activity in your credit report. So a free resource is annualcreditreport.com. That's a required federal law that the credit bureaus have to provide you a free annual credit report every year so that you can look at your credit report to make sure there's no fraudulent activity on there and then you're not a victim for identity theft. And I will tell you that identity theft and fraud in this area is huge. So as soon as you can, go check out your credit. Look at your credit score to understand where your credit is. Do you have good credit? Does it need work? So that we can figure out what we need to do going forward to get that in a great place, okay? The next thing is, if you have a job, and preferably, hopefully it's in your field of study, understand what your take-home pay is gonna look like. Okay, minus taxes, minus benefits. Some college graduates graduate. Some people have had a job, so you understand the whole thing of how taxes work and everything. But some of us, maybe we just work and we didn't have like a real job. But I will say, once you enter the workforce and they tell you, okay, your salary is going to be $50,000 a year, understand that you're not bringing home $50,000 a year. So we want to understand what your income is and also what your take-home pay is going to look like. So minus taxes, minus whatever your benefit package is as far as health insurance, dental insurance, and then we're going to talk about also that savings bucket that a lot of employers offer. We're going to talk about that in soon. So let's look at what your take-home pay looks like. So just sit and say, where am I financially? That's the key thing. And those things that I just mentioned before can help you to understand where you stand financially, okay? The next thing I want you to do is create financial goals. Create a financial vision for your life. Okay, you have just graduated from college. You've accomplished this major goal of getting a college degree or even a graduate degree. Now let's set financial vision for your life. Don't allow this degree and these accomplishments to go to waste. Use them as a catalyst to accomplish your financial goals. And some of your financial goals could be like if you want to purchase a property, if you want to invest, if you need to get out of debt, if you want to move somewhere, if you want to be a person that travels, vacations, whatever that looks like for you, sit down and create financial goals. What do you want your life to look like from a financial perspective? So sit down and write that vision out and make it plain. The other thing, I know you may not be thinking about it now, but retirement, and we're going to talk about that in a second. The other thing is, I know that when I graduated from college, there were a sector of students that you may have found love in college. So for you in the next 5 years, maybe the person you're with, you may be thinking about getting married. So from a financial perspective, how are you preparing yourself for marriage? From a financial perspective. So these are some things. Sit down and create financial goals for your life, because that will set the trajectory of what you're going to be doing, like with your budgeting and everything else. Which brings me to my next tip or step that I would like for you to do as a new college grad. Create a tight budget. Okay, not just a budget, but create a tight budget. So remember, a couple minutes ago, I talked about still living like a college student. So create a tight budget when you do your expenses, like whether it's food or entertainment or even clothing. Don't go crazy because you have a new job. Now, if you have a job where you need to buy different clothing because you don't have maybe more business attire, then yes, you need to spend on that. But even when spending on that, remember, spend like a college student. So how creative you were in college of how to make things work with just a little, use still some of those tactics to stay tight for these next couple of years so that you can reach your financial goal and get like a trajectory with your finances, okay? So budget your expenses like you're in college, okay, as long as you can, and then learn to track your expenses now. A lot of people don't track what they spend. They don't track what they spend, and then their spending gets out of control. It's easy when you feel like, hey, I'm making all this money now, so I can spend, I can go out, with my friends and spend some money. And I'm telling you, going out with your friends, that can get you into a whole lot of trouble from a spending perspective, especially if you're doing it every weekend, whether it's dinner, going out, to like a club. I know people who can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, on that. So continue to keep your spending like a college student, and then track your spending. And then that leads me to my next point. As I know, as a new college grad, a lot of you are techies, like you are into technology. So I would suggest, as you're creating your budget and even learning to track your expenses, a tech tool may be the best thing for you. And when I mean a tech tool, there are a lot of resources online that can help you budget or help you develop and keep your budget. So some of the budgeting tools that I like, and I'll post an article on my Money Basics Facebook page that lists like the 8 best apps for budgeting. And some of these I have actually used, and I do like. So a couple of budgeting tools that a lot of people use and I've used is mint.com, mint.com. Another one is everydollar.com. And some of these resources are free. Some are not free, but some of them offer a free trial. So try things out. The next one is youneedabudget.com. You need a budget.com. And that's a great resource too. So some of them are not free. Some of them cost something to do it, but they do have free trials. And I will encourage you in this area, even with budgeting tools, try them out. It's no harm in trying something out and saying, hey, yeah, that's not really working for me. It's not really helping me track my expenses the way that I spend or the way that I live, or it's just too cumbersome. But try different things out. The thing is to never stop doing it, okay? You can try things. They may not work well for you, but try something else. The goal is to keep moving forward and keep making progress toward reaching your financial goals, okay? But you do need a budget. I really like that budgeting tool. You need a budget.com, because everyone needs a tight budget, okay? So going back to the next thing is going back to one of the things as you sit down and figure out where you are financially is if you do have student loan debt or credit card debt. One of the reasons why I want you to keep your budget tight continue to live like a college student from an expense perspective is this is the time to aggressively pay off your debt, whether it's student loan debt, credit card debt, whatever debts you have. This is the prime time to aggressively pay off your debt. It's almost like you're at a fresh point, a fresh start. And a lot of you, some of you in your situation may be different, but a lot of you have no real responsibilities. You're not married, you don't have kids. So this is the prime time for you to focus in and just knock it out, okay? We want to do a fast track to debt demolishment, okay? I want you to demolish your debt, okay? I want you to take that fast track. So I want you to be extremely aggressive in paying off any debt that you have, okay? So that's why it's key to continue to live like a college student. Okay, so, and the other key is don't create any new debt. Okay, so we're going to aggressively pay off any debt that you already have, but we're not going to create any new unnecessary debt. If there's a situation where maybe you need a car because your new job, you need to drive, be frugal in what you choose. Remember, think and still live like a college student, okay? As a college student, you would say, okay, well, maybe I can just get by on a used car that's not, as long as it's, reliable to get me from point A to point B, okay? Because we're going to look at what our financial goals are so that we can get on a solid footing to reaching those goals. The next thing is I want you to create a habit of saving. okay? Create a habit of saving, because I will tell you that in saving, time is your best friend. Time is your best friend. When you save and when you invest, time is your best friend. And what do I mean by time is your best friend? When you're 20 years old, if you invest, let's say $30 a week from when you're, let's say 22, okay? That $30, 40 years from now, could be $600,000 off of $30 a week. But let's fast forward. Let's fast forward. Same rate of return. Let's say we have a rate of return of 10%, okay, in both scenarios. Let's fast forward and you don't save when you start when you're 22. Let's say you wait until you're 35 and you do the same example. Well, let's say you even add more. You say, okay, I know I waited. I'm going to add $50 a week. Do you know that same investment, because you still have the same time because you don't have as much time. So now you only have 22 years, but remember, you've added more to it. So you're like, okay, I added more, so it should make up for the time. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because time is your best friend in investing. Because those 20 years you lost dividends, whether it's a savings account, you lost compound interest, you've lost not only time, but you've also lost money and the time value of money, and then market fluctuations. You've lost all of that. So time is your best friend. And I know sometimes when you're in this state, you're like, well, I don't have a lot. Remember, I said $30. So create a habit of saving and investing, no matter how much the dollar amount is. Even if it's a small amount, even if it's $25 a month. Create a habit of saving. It will pay off later, and you will thank me later. You will thank me. You will thank me. So some of the savings buckets are, and I've kind of talked about this before in other scopes, is build an emergency fund. Emergencies will happen in life. So build an emergency fund for expenses when things happen, okay? And like I said, start with what you have. If it's $25 a month, $50 a month, just build that emergency fund. The second thing is 401k. If you're starting with a company that offers a retirement plan or a 401k, I want you to at least do the max of whatever their match is. So if they match up to 5%, I want you to do the max of whatever that matching is, okay? At least to start. Now, when you sit down, let's say you don't have any student loan debt, because there's some of you that don't have any student loan debt, you don't have any credit card debt, I want you to max it out. I want you to put the pedal to the metal and max out your retirement savings plan. And usually it's 15%. So I want you to max out that retirement plan, and I want you to save aggressively, okay? So the next thing is, when we talked about investing even outside of your retirement plan, you're young. This is the time to take risks. So one of the other savings buckets that I would like for you to create is called an opportunity fund. And you can create that however you would like. If you would like to actually invest in mutual funds or something like that to create this opportunity fund, but create an opportunity fund for you to create wealth. Because there will be opportunities that come across your path in life, whether it's real estate investing, if there's a dream or a vision inside of you to start a business, or you have an idea to start a business, there will be opportunities that come across your path. But you have to be prepared financially to do those things. So I want you to create an opportunity fund, a savings opportunity fund for those things that come across your path to help you to create additional wealth in your life. Okay. And the last thing and it kind of goes back up to another point, is I want you to build and maintain a good financial name. And you may ask, what is my financial name? Your financial name is your credit. Okay, so I want you to build and maintain a good financial name. So that's why it's important to understand where you are from a credit perspective. So like I said before, go to creditkarma.com, know what your credit score is, and go to annualcreditreport.com and actually pull your full credit report to know what is being reported on your financial name. And if you need to improve your credit, figure out what needs to be paid off, what needs to be rectified. If there was a bill that you couldn't pay while you were in college and it's on your credit, let's figure out how to get that paid off so we can get that off your credit. That'll help boost your credit score. We're not going to be just applying for credit if we don't need it, so that we can get those inquiries and things like that. So help clean up your credit, because that will be that's something that you will need throughout your life. So this is the key time to build or clean up, but also maintain your good financial name. Okay. Oh, there's one other thing. It really shouldn't be the last thing. It should have been the first thing. But I want you to create a habit of generosity. Okay. Create a habit of being generous and being a giver. So even as you're starting your new career and you're going to get your check, the first check you should write is a check to whatever, like if you're a person that is a Christian, it should be to probably your church community or whatever cause that you're passionate about, but create a habit of giving, of being generous. Create a habit of having an open hand in life. That will take you further than you can imagine. Okay? So, I don't know if I'll repeat it, because I was going to say I wouldn't want to repeat it, but the things that we talked about today are: sit down and figure out where you are financially, create financial goals, create a tight budget, pay off your debt aggressively, create a habit of saving, create a habit of giving, build and maintain a good financial name. And the financial name is your credit. And overarching of all of that is, as coming out of college, continue to live like a college student. Okay, that will help you to reach a lot of these goals quicker than you can. Remember, I said it's easy to upgrade, it's hard to downgrade. So while you're at this place of you're used to living tight and making things work, live like that for a little while, and you'll be able to reach your goals quicker, and you'll feel freer in the long run. Okay, so like I said, congratulations to all you college grads. You're at a great point in your life. It's almost like a fresh start, and it's time to build an amazing financial future. So I'm excited for where you're going in life. I'm excited for your financial future. So I wanted to just share with you guys some things that you can do now that can help build a solid financial future later for you. Some of the things I just wanted to let you guys know as I'm closing is, like I said, share this chat with all of the college students that you know. Share it on your Facebook pages, so that hey Jermaine, so that all of the college students can hear this as they are entering their respective careers. A good investment, if you are a college student, you're like, okay, Tamara, these are great ideas. I kind of need help. Hey, I'm here for you. I do offer coaching, financial coaching one-on-one if you want to help creating, looking at your financial life and creating a plan for you to reach your financial goals. If you are a parent and you know you have a son or daughter that they have completed their degree and now they're entering the workforce and they have a job, and you're like, okay, I really would want them to have, something like this. I want them to really create a good, solid financial plan for them to soar financially. Hey, give them the gift of financial coaching, okay? Invest in their financial future. And if you are interested in that, you can message me through Facebook, or you can email me at tamara@moneybasicsonline.com. Okay, so I would love to help you guys if that's something that you need. But look at the scope. Look at this chat. Take those pointers and let's go for it. Okay, go for it. My next Finance Friday will be June 1st. And in that one, I have a special guest for you guys. So look for that posting to let you guys know the actual time, but my next Finance Friday will be June 1st. Okay. I hope that this chat was informative for you and that it was good information for you. And I hope that you take them and apply them for your college students. And even if you're not a college student, you feel like, oh, I need to do that. Hey, you can do it too. But share, repost, and let people know, share this information with them, okay? So I hope you guys are having a great Friday, and I pray that you have an awesome weekend. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.